Hello and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. My name is Lavaita and I'll be your storyteller for this Hunt of the Reckoning Chronicle. The title is Whirl and Rush and this is episode 4. We've got Sonia and Lucas's players are both here. Do you want to say hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Just double checking. So they've got volume meters to make sure that you can tell who's talking. Logan is ill tonight, so we hope he feels better soon. He can rejoin us for the next session, but we'll be playing without Felix for tonight. If we need to have trigger warnings on YouTube, they'll be below the video, and if you're watching live, then just we hit a subject that you find difficult, just feel free to dip out if you need to or come back later. That's fine. Anticipating horror. It's vampire-related horror at this point. It may be other creatures later on, but right now it's vampire-related horror. Let's try and do a quick summary. They had been investigating what may well be a ghost. I'm getting distracted. I can hear myself off the stream. This is a problem. They were investigating the possible ghost in a council social housing project, and the evening after they had gone home to do their research, they were called very, very early in the morning, stroke late at night, about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, saying that they planned... Word's gone out of my head. Attack, basically, on a large vampire group that had been found out about was going to start taking place. And they were basically summoned. And I think for the sake of, as we say, Logan is ill, Felix didn't wake up and hasn't come. But the rest of you are will be on your way to the Shard. Is there anything I haven't mentioned that you feel is important as we go into this?
I am aware of the situation. I think.
Okay. Is there anything you're taking that I might not know about? I'm assuming you're bringing your Raphael's light.
Yeah, I'm bringing my big angel stick. I'm not really bringing Millie or Seth, my team. They're staying. I think they're going to. I mean, Seth is going to be at home, available by a computer if I need him, and I guess Millie will be back at the base at the pub. Again on standby. So, and my phone is topped up, so I have my phone with credit, so I can call them if things go to hell, and that's it.
And what about you, Lucas?
I don't use mobile phones. Lucas is too old to understand what those are. Lever action rifle is charged and ready to go. He has learned a deeper meaning of the artifact, hence why I use my XP to buy the Empower spell. Well, spell, quote unquote. What armored clothing he has, which I can either treat as heavy clothing or ballistic cloth, up to you.
Do you want to call it ballistic cloth? Because that's going to make a difference. So is it like a formal kind of basic bulletproof material?
You know the John Wick suit?
Vaguely.
Where he like puts it up as a shield and it blocks bolt. Yeah, like the like that. I don't know if we have enough time for my other library roll to go off, but I do have how to harm them, which would help us hurt them a bit harder.
Yeah, it feels like if you're getting a call in the middle of the night, you might not stop and do some research before you turn up there.
Yeah, so if I can't do it, I can't do it, and we'll do it another time.
Okay.
Other than that, we do have, for each of us, we do have that Celtic knot that I made that is a protection against vampires.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to double check we've got that on your sheets, actually, because that's going to be something I might need to double check. I meant to stat that, and I've forgotten to.
I have procured 2 pairs, well, 3 pairs, but for the time being, 2 pairs of mirror shades that should, any gaze-based attack should get disrupted by those.
Sonia, are you able to, if words, come on, mouth work properly, are you able to work effectively wearing mirror shades, do you think?
What, like sunglasses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume so. I have vision. I'd imagine that they would be a hindrance in the dark, but I just take them off if that was the case. So yeah,
Eminently sensible. So I'm imagining you are getting driven there?
Or however we want to get there.
I will default to my bicycle,
Mhm.
unless somebody has another mode of transport.
I do. I have the car.
Well, I'll just sling my Brompton folded up in your boot. Sonia doesn't go very far in London without her bike.
I also have one other piece of accessory.
Mm-hmm.
Put on a lapel, as a lapel on his suit, is a SAS pin.
Okay. It's going to make some changes to the social stuff then, I guess, when you get there. Is that what you're aiming for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also just to have an SAS pin.
I like we're just dropping more and more lore about Lucas.
I am very show don't tell when it comes to my backstories for characters.
Okay. Now, we've got stats for Raphael's Light, we've got stats for your Winchester, which have recently have a little update. So let me just do my little bit of description. Trouble is I have too many pages of description now. So right now, in 2012, at this point, the Shard hasn't actually been opened yet to the general public at all. In fact, I think it won't be for another year, and the official opening isn't until the summer anyway, so no one's actually really been inside unless they're working on it. But you'll have seen it going up, because it's quite a predominant building. In fact, at this point, it's the tallest building in London, I think. About 306 metres tall. It's a big spire. As you're approaching it, you actually see a church in front of it, which, it's not a small church. It's a little white building, but it's got a spire of its own, but it's completely dwarfed by this massive it's a different sort of monument to a different sort of thing. One's a monument to religion. This is very much a monument to economics and finance and success, and look at how powerful we are.
So I'm standing out. So we're standing at the bottom, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. And there's a lot of general police around, and a few other folks, but mainly it's general police. And you can hear some helicopters in the back, distance at this point.
So where is the place we're actually going? Is it inside the Shard at above ground or below ground? What do we know?
Well, what's going to happen is you'll meet the person you've been calling Simon. We may have to cover the fact that Simon isn't his real name at some point, but I'm not about to go there right now. This isn't the time. Yeah, so you arrive at the Shard. I think Simon has arranged to meet you, let's say, away from the larger crowd of people organising the full frontal assault, as it were. And he can talk you through what the plan is. So essentially, they're going to go in, and you're going to be there as well. But the majority of the police don't know what it is they're facing exactly. They think it's a terrorist cell who have a bloodborne illness, a virulent virus that can make them do very powerful things sometimes.
Before we leave the car, in a suitcase, or briefcase. Well, suitcase. I'm guessing it is, since this is an Aston Martin, Lucas in the front, Sonia in the back. Besides Sonia, there's a briefcase, suitcase, whatever. Sonia, have a rough idea of your size. If you would so please to open that, there should be some armored clothing. I don't expect it to be of any use, or hope that we have to have it be of use. But if you want it, it is there.
Oh, Lucas, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. I eagerly open the briefcase. What do I see?
To avoid us being a walking Blues Brothers reference, it is not a suit jacket. We would quite literally be on a mission from God. It is a jacket, but it is less suit and formal wear, more of something that you would wear on a cold-ish spring or autumn night. It shouldn't make you any hotter than usual.
Oh, this is great. Thank you. I pull off a few dangly Pokemon things from my current jacket and transfer them over to this new jacket and then put it on.
In that briefcase is also the mirror shades.
I put them on and just like, okay, this is cool. This is really cool. This is so cool.
You are in the James Bond car, and I was hoping we can get you looking James Bond-esque. Welcome to MI5.
So these shades, like, are they hooked up to like some kind of control center where like people that work for you can see what I see?
We will add that in the next iteration of glasses. The Fairbanks Foundation does not have infinite wealth, but it could be something that we could look into.
Okay. Well, do they take pictures if I like tap them a certain way and I start prodding at them?
They are just normal mirror shades, unfortunately. They should protect us against abilities that they have that would compromise our senses by looking at us. Think hypnotic gazes, mind control, etc.
That is cool. Thank you.
Of course. I want to keep you safe after all. You are the hope of humanity and all of that.
Maybe I should start a Twitter account with that name.
I have no clue what Twitter is, but sure, why not?
Oh, it's great. It's a microblogging platform. It's only just come out. And I don't foresee any complications with the future of democracy or anything with its existence at all. And I know that's a very strange thing for me to say in the year 2012.
One would say that's a tad bit prophetic.
Well, yeah, maybe I should start tweeting about all of this stuff that I do because only weirdos will believe me, and so it'll be safe, but also it'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, we got a mission to do. So what's the plan?
Plan is we go and find Simon and see where we are best used.
So around the corner from the Shard is the entrance to London Bridge Station, and Simon's in that area. So he's probably I think he's texted you, Lucas, to say where he is, so you can find him and you can discuss what the plan is, such as there is a plan.
All right, let's go. I put the shades on. I put my backpack on. Put Raphael's light in between the straps where I usually put it and get out the car. Looking pretty weird, to be honest.
Converting my gun into the walking cane that it usually is and getting out.
It is the coldest part of the night because it's that part where the sun's been down long enough that the heat of the day has been dissipated fully and the sun hasn't got anywhere near rising yet, so it's pretty chilly. I mean, it's still early March at this point. I did not mean to set this at the same time that I was running the game. It's just I was trying to find a time of year that we had roughly equal parts day and nighttime. It's chilly. There's a bit of mist in the air, but it's not actually raining, so that's something. The moon is not quite visible. It's kind of blurry, but it is looking very full. Right, where are we at? Okay. Simon's waiting for you. He kind of pulls you towards a corner so you can talk quietly and out of the way of everything. There's a fair amount of activity. Even at this time of night, there's not zero pedestrians around, and there's some traffic on the road, but it's quieter than it would be during the day. Excellent. I'm glad you managed to come here. Where's your Frenchman?
He was otherwise buffeted quite vigorously by a ghost, so he has taken the night off, probably to go stew and yell at the ghost.
Understandable, I suspect. I mean, I can't deny I'm sort of relieved he's here. He's not here, because he did seem, well, I hesitate to tell you this, but he actually broke into the house that we were using. It's not even my house. It was just, it's a building that we use when when we had you come to deliver those documents back in August, we didn't know who was going to be coming, and we were dealing with people we know to be occasionally a big problem, and we wouldn't tell them where we live. So yeah, we have a building that we use, and that's one of them, and that's where you met us, and it's not where I live. But nevertheless, he tried to break into it.
That does sound like Felix.
We're very lucky that we weren't running an operation out of that building at the time, to be honest. But he was caught on camera quite easily, and it just so happens that no one's been in there much since. So
the thing with Felix, you must understand, Simon, is that he is hard. He finds it very hard to trust people because of his previous traumatic history. So you should probably work to build bridges with him, and so he can develop trust with you, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you for that hint. We'll work on that, I think. Definitely.
And quite frankly, a healthy dose of paranoia is well in our line of work.
Paranoia is certainly not inappropriate at the moment. Right. What are we going to do? We have special forces who are inbound. You may be able to hear the helicopter. They're going to attack from above. And we believe they're using the upper floors next to the viewing platform. There's a mezzanine level below that where, from what our information has told us, they seem to be running some kind of party tonight.
In Elysium, yes.
It's sickening. But this might be our best chance to strike as much as possible. I believe, from what we were told, that the majority of them will be here or have been here. So the plan is to go in, take out as many as possible. If we can get any alive, that would be a benefit, because we need to improve our weapons, and the best way to test them is on, well, I suppose, unalive subjects.
Are there any innocents inside?
We don't know for sure. Chances are they do have some mortal thralls in place. The Society of St. Leopold have some ways to help with those, but I don't like to ask what they are, to be honest.
Are we expected on the lower floors while the other ones are up top? Don't want any accidental friendly fire incidences.
The lower floors are not in use at this time. I don't know if you're aware of how this building's meant to be when it's finished. The plan is to have sort of shops and some kind of hotel further up, and there's going to be residential spaces at the top and towards the middle. So all of that's not open yet. They've not been completed. Certainly there's no businesses that we're aware of that are operating out of here yet. But it seems they have the use of the upper floor, which is mainly completed because it's the thing that they're wanting to show everyone. So the mezzanine level below the viewing gallery and the viewing deck itself. That's the focus of our operations. That's why we're sending in people from helicopter.
So I'm taking it you would expect us to come from below to cut off any escape down.
Well, we've been making a plan for this, and they have security down below. Presumably they have radios to speak up to the people above. So as soon as we go in, we have to assume that our entrance is compromised and have to get up there as quickly as possible. So the majority of our stronger forces will be going in the elevator, with other forces going up the stairs to avoid that being an issue. We can't imagine them being any benefit to them rappelling down the lift shaft. It's nearly 600 feet. 600 meters, I apologise.
Understood.
So we go in loud.
They go in loud, you go in with them, but let them lead, I think, would be the best course of action. What I would anticipate you doing is, any stragglers, the police are here, as I may have indicated. They aren't entirely aware what they're facing. This could go badly for some of them. We're anticipating some casualties. I mean,
Understood.
I've witnessed video of some of these creatures being tortured, and it's quite. I mean, they can appear quite personable, but when under force, under torture, the real animal inside comes out. It's quite terrifying to see.
Well,
I'm not one for massive amounts of torture, but if I can have one of them if we round up any of them, I would be in your debt.
Have one of them?
I do my own research.
How much are you liable to learn from them? Because when I get into designated mode, I tend to do one of two things. I tend to try and protect innocents, and also try to destroy the curse. I don't usually take prisoners.
Well, what I would like to gain from this, if there is anything indeed to be gained other than their death, any documentation, and possibly one of them alive for a semi-permanent resident in the pub cellar.
Maybe, Lucas, you should focus on taking one of them. Like when I get into designated mode. I mean, I don't really have much of a say.
I do have, and he reaches in inner coat pocket. You see a brace. If you look, you see a brace of different bullets of different sizes. I do have these wooden rounds that should go through their heart quite easily.
All right. Oh, did I mention I have what's the word? Stakes. That should probably go without saying, right?
I mean, I don't see you going to a place where there may be kindred to fight without appropriate weapons. I'm not going to make you list all your equipment every time, but I think if you're bringing anything special or unusual, tell me in advance. But otherwise, I'll assume that you've got your basic things that you take to everywhere.
Yeah, I have, different kinds of rounds. A brace of stakes on the other arm. A chain in which I can use to tie people. Metal chain, because zip tying them is going to be as useful as zip tying a shark's mouth shut. It's not going to work. So chains, they can break chains, but it's going to take them a bit longer to break them.
Where are you keeping the chains?
Chain is used around my waist as a pseudo belt.
Okay. Just so I'm aware of when you're reaching for it, where you're reaching for, how long it's likely to take you to get to it, that kind of thing.
Can also be used as an ad hoc weapon if needed.
I mean, yeah, any port in a storm. Okay, so you're going to get sent upstairs. The people ahead of you are going to take the lobby, reception area. I'll quickly talk you through, as soon as I find my notes again, because I keep looking at the wrong page, how the building is laid out at this point. Now, I appreciate this is a real location. I'm going to mess with it for dramatic reasons because it's more fun that way. So if you've been to the actual building and I get this wrong, it's because we're playing in a fictional version of it. I wrote a really good description of this and I'm not finding it right now. I took everything out of my notebook because I was like, I don't want to be rifling through my notebook every time. And instead, I'm rifling through multiple text files. Rifling feels like the appropriate term today. Right, so you've got the reception area. There's some staff there who are monitoring people coming in. They've also got a sort of metal detector thing set up. The initial people coming in have dealt with those They're not vampires on the ground floor. But they did discover that they did have radio set up as anticipated, so the people upstairs will at some point soon realise that they're not hearing anything from the people downstairs. And so you're starting up in the public elevator. It's got big screens, but there's not anything on them yet. Kind of silvery edges to the lift. I'm going to swivel between lift, elevator. It means the same thing. Sorry, I appreciate I'm using a lot of Britishisms. So the elevator will take you up to the 30-something floor. Yeah, floor 33. You have to change. It takes about a minute. That lift's going at 7 meters per second. So you change at floor 33, and then you move into a different elevator, which has got black silver mirrors and a massive television screen in the roof. But again, that's not on yet. And it takes you up the rest of the way to floor 68. It's probably quite a tense time in the elevator. You've got a couple of minutes if you want to say anything or do anything. You're with these massive black-clad hulking guys with like weapons strapped to every available limb.
Have you ever seen The Matrix, Lucas?
Yes. Very good movie with that reused cello.
You see the similarities, right? Of what we're doing and all of this. Like, look at this.
I believe it's mainly the shades that are giving us that idea.
Well,
it is quite brightly lit in there.
Let's Matrix the fuck out of this, right?
That is the plan. Lucas is going to take something from his hip. It's a flask. He's going to drink a bit of it.
As they're approaching the upper floor, one of them has their hand over the door close button. And the way it works when they get to the top is the door opens, they throw a grenade out, they press the door close button again and hold it and wait for the distant explosion before they move back in again.
I ready Raphael's light, and I just say to Lucas very quickly, if I don't make it, please look after Millie.
You're going to make it. Don't say that.
Well, objectively, like, there is a chance that some of us may not make it, so I'm just covering the base in case of that.
A small explosion. Sorry.
I have written my will. You're in it. You'll take over the foundation for me. But I'm not planning on dying today. You hear the racking of a shell or a bullet in the Winchester as he does the flip. You know, the
Terminator 2 style. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's the only reference point I have for this. Okay, so you hear not so much the distant explosion, more the shockwave hitting the outside of the lift on the doors on the other side. The person releases the button and the doors open again. There's just chaos happening out there. There's people screaming. There's people making sort of animalistic cries. You can hear the helicopters very close by, right above on the viewing deck. There's people rappelling down on ropes. The people you're with automatically go into firing immediately. I've already done a couple of rolls for them, so I know how this first volley is going to go. What are you doing as you come out behind them?
Are they firing madly? Like the what the fuck is a kilometer mean?
They've each picked one person that they're mainly targeting. The people that look biggest and scariest to start with, more or less. The ones that present the biggest immediate risk.
I go out and I say under my breath, Raphael, protect me. And my eyes go white and Sonia is gone.
Okay.
Sonia is no longer entirely there. And the first thing, are there any people I can read as innocents?
How are you reading them?
Essentially, I'm looking for people who are screaming and look scared and are running away.
There's a few of them. So you've perhaps got some sense of what to look for, maybe. The lights are quite low, but what you're seeing is there's a lot of people in lots of different kinds of costume, it looks like. Lots of different kinds of fashion going on here. Some of it are very archaic. Some of it so up to date it looks like it's just come off the catwalk of a fashion week. I think fashion week would have been the month before, so maybe it's come directly from there. But there's a bunch of people who are sort of showing a lot more neck and a lot more arm than the others, and they also look a bit more warm. Oh gosh, we had a raid. I have not had the. Thank you for the raid, Dizen. And hello to the people who have come in. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt this because we're about to get combat. But hello, thank you for bringing your folks over. Lovely to see you. Yeah, there's people who are showing a lot more arm and a lot more neck, and they're probably the ones who are not vampires.
Okay, can I do some kind of roll to know for sure?
Yes, you can. And where is let's see. I don't want to say what's awareness because it's not that. It's more like you want to recognize something. Let's say intelligence and that's concealment. I want to find noticing stuff.
Occult?
I'm just thinking. Let's say wits intelligence because it's recognition you're looking for rather than breaking the masquerade raid.
Wits and what? Sorry?
Intelligence.
Wits and intelligence are both.
They're in the same thing, aren't they? Okay, let's say intelligence and awareness then. Because I'm trying to do all this on one screen because I realised I was looking over there far too much when I'd roll 20 over there.
6 successes.
6. That's a lot. Okay, I'm going to say you've noticed all the ones that are available to see right now. There might be some in back rooms or some that are just elsewhere or people who have panicked and already left by some means. But you can spot some people that are not vampires.
Okay, is there a fire escape? Like stairs?
There are stairs, yeah. The entrance to them is near the lift.
All
where
right,
you came from.
I would like to go up to the people that I've identified as human and get them out of the fire escape.
So you're going to direct them towards the fire escape?
Yeah, I'm going to basically walk up to them, eyes white, and just say, "You have to leave now."
Okay, I'm going to do a quick roll with actual dice for Actually, I might ask you for a roll as well, and we're going to see charisma persuasion.
This is not going to go well.
It might not go well, but I'm just like, because you've got white eyes and they're terrified, and I'm just like, let's just see how.
I have 1 success.
That's more than I was expecting, to be honest. Oh, I just hit my own mug. That's why I don't normally roll in front of me. They only got 1 as well, so they're trusting you, and they're just like, they're so panicked. Anyone who's offering some way out of here, they're going to go with it. Some of them really want to stay though, and they don't want to leave the party. They don't want to leave the people that are there with at the party.
Okay, so some of them are remaining.
So I'm going to say, let's say for every 10 that leave, and maybe there only are 10 at this point who you can see, there's 3 or 4 of them who are sort of running to specific vampires in the room.
Okay, I guess it's either going to be a one at a time thing, but I'm going to basically follow them, and if they go near somebody who I know for sure is a vampire, I'm going to attack that vampire.
Ooh, okay. Just so I can go back and forth and keep this moving, though. Lucas, what are you doing?
The guys we were in the elevator with, what are they? If I know.
They are. Some of them are first responders, like protection, counter-terrorism level, and some of them are just sergeants.
So they're British people, yes?
Yeah, in the main. I mean, they're British, like MI5 or related.
Yeah. I'm going to. I know that we're supposed to follow their lead, but I'm going to do some inspiration style shit.
Okay.
I'm guessing they probably either saw my lapel pin and either thought I was bullshitting, or.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could have bought that in some kind of knockoff shop down the market or something.
screaming out onwards, men, for Queen and country.
Yeah.
Kill these bastards.
Okay, I'm open to suggestion on this, but I'm going to suggest charisma and leadership.
That was my idea.
Okay. And this is uncontested, so I'm just going to see to what extent this is going to affect them.
Let's hope this is
So
actually.
I'm not giving you a difficulty on this.
No difficulty.
It's just
3 successes.
Okay. Let's say they believe you enough. You've got the gravitas of someone who's done some of the work, and they find you suitably inspiring.
Let's go, gentlemen. And then I'm gonna, follow them out with my repeating rifle.
Okay. Can I firearms and dexterity?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to empower it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my roll for it, which is going to be endowment, which is my relic or artifact. It's going to be my intelligence and occult at difficulty 4.
Yep.
Increasing the die.
Oof.
Intelligence, occult, difficulty 4.
So for everyone watching, what Lucas is firing just now is his Winchester, which is we've statted up with damage and rate of fire and concealability and stuff. You've got 1 success of 7 die.
Yup.
That could have gone better, I feel. I think
I just need to succeed at 1.
I mean, you've hit. It's just it's not had the massive impact that you might. Maybe you hit someone that's standing side on.
Oh no, this increases the die pool for the Dex firearm shot.
Okay. Oh yes. Sorry, I hadn't realized that wasn't what you were rolling yet.
This is the once per scene. This gives an additional 3 dice to my Dex firearm shot.
Then that's a success, and you get your 3 additional dice. Although also your occult and intelligence is looking very intimidating right now.
I know a lot about the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Bobby from the hit show Supernatural. You just want 0 difficulty, or do you want difficulty on it?
Let's say 0 difficulty because they're not ready for you yet, and they're just reacting rather than being sensible. Oh boy!
3 successes. I am not rolling very well today.
So I'm going to say you've hit someone for 2 because of the differential. With 4 damage. I mean, they are kindred, so they're taking half that, so I'm just going to mark off some damage on one of the... I haven't named them all. I've got several characters, but I'm going to...
Frick and Frack. And
yeah, something like that.
James, I guess. I don't know.
I don't want to give them names because there's people that we've named that the vampires have already met, and I don't want to overlap with them. A lot of them have already got out because they went home earlier.
Well, by all means, let us kill an NPC that they've talked to.
We'll get to that. But I'm just marking off damage on a couple of tracks there. No one at this point is getting anywhere near you, apart from Sonia's gone and rounded up some of the mortals that are in the room. And now you're going for the leave Frank alone. Sorry. I see why Mark finds chat so distracting. Sonia, we're going to roll for Raphael's Light. Now we're treating it as a heavy impact weapon with +2 damage. And you've got an edge, so if you do intelligence or cult, you can get an extra, I think we're saying one bonus die at the moment, but I'm anticipating that to get larger once you get deeper with the XP.
So
give me
occult
intelligence.
Okay, does this get an extra thing because I've got a specialization with vampires?
We're getting to that. That's going to be the next roll that we do.
Occult intelligence, no pool size modifier.
Nope.
4 successes.
Okay, so I'm going to let you have 2 extra die. If you do, it's not firearms, it's melee, isn't it? Hang on. I always kept. in my head, I know the difference between melee and brawl, but yeah, it's definitely melee and strength, and add 2 extra die to that pool.
Okay, let's do a melee strength.
Oh, and another one for your vampire specialism.
+3.
3, yeah.
7
good
successes.
Lord. Okay, that's going to be 3.5. Actually, we didn't. It's a heavy impact weapon. It's doing +2 damage. I'm just needing, because this is the first time we've actually used it. Oh, good night, Floss. I hadn't made a decision about whether it was going to be aggravated damage or the other sort of damage, which is temporarily left my head right now. So I'm going to say that halved because kindred. So they're damaged, but they're not, like, they haven't stopped moving to any extent because they're not reacting like humans would. They're not humans.
Okay, so I follow one of the people to their master or whatever, and I yell out, "I'm sorry this happened to you, but I must cleanse the curse." And I jump into the air and I come and slam down Raphael's light on their face.
I feel like on their face, given what we've assessed that Raphael's light does, it's going to take out that particular kindred that you've just smashed.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn. As the kindred falls, I turn to the thrall and I just say, "Get the fuck out of here."
Then they're looking broken inside, but they do leave. But that's someone who's messed up. Like that they went to that, back to the vampire is probably not a great sign either. There's people who have been making their way up the stairs. I'm going to say they are, well, first of all, they've been bothered by a group of vampires who have just gone down the stairs, but we're not going to dwell on that just now. They're meeting the people who you're sending down, so they're going to be sent to police. They're not going to go all the way down on the stairs by themselves because it is nearly 70 floors.
Away from danger is enough for me.
Okay, well,
I'm sticking very closely to
we'll see
my
how that
ambition.
works out.
For good or ill, I'm sticking to my character's ambition.
Has Sonia met ghouls much before?
Vampires?
No, vampires have ghouls, and maybe she doesn't know what they are.
She will have read up about them, but essentially, if they're human and have not suffered, in her terms, the curse, then they are people, and she has to protect people from the curse and vampires. So that is what she's doing.
Okay. There's perhaps a different curse. We'll come back to that. This isn't the time.
Fair enough.
This might be a learning experience for Sonia afterwards. Lucas, what do you want to do next? Do you want to just bop more people? I should give you a description of the room a little bit. It's a big glass atrium. It's kind of 2 levels high. Imagine like a fancy bar, a millennial kind of bar. The bar's in the centre. Windows all around the side. The view over London looks amazing. Well, so far much as you can see it through your mirrored shades. There's clearly been a party here. It's clearly been quite opulent. There's people everywhere. There's kind of loungy chairs, massive sort of ornate bean bags almost, areas where people can sit. There's back rooms with closed doors. There's some people up on the viewing platform, but you can see that the people who have rappelled down from the helicopters are making short work of those.
So just ahead of us, is there any So I'm with the squad. Sonia has pulled a Rain Man and has kind of just buggered off to go beat people to death with a stick.
I told you when she goes designate, it's all a bit much.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just letting you live your best life right now and go kill people. I am gonna push with the main guys. Is there a chandelier of some degree above some vampires?
Oh, do you know what? I think there might be some kind of like hanging light fitting, definitely, that's movable. What are you intending?
Shoot the support, knock it down on top of some vampires' heads.
That's going to be a difficult shot. I'm going to call that 4, maybe even 5 difficulty just to make the shot.
Okay, I still have my 3 additional.
I know you do. That's why I don't mind giving you something of that difficulty.
Pray to God that this works. Dex, full size, modifier 3. Difficulty 5.
Yep.
Okay, pray. I have, of course.
Do you want to willpower that?
Yeah, we're gonna willpower that.
Okay, so take off 1 point of willpower and re-roll up to 3 dice.
We're gonna roll 3 dice. Difficulty 5.
I'm just going to mute myself whilst I open my flask of tea.
Of course, I get 1.
1. Oh no.
Unfortunate.
Okay, how do you think? I'm going to let you. How did you think this plays out in terms of trying to shoot the chandelier with 1 success out of 5?
Well, it's a cumulative 3 out of 5, so that's about halfway. I have the idea that it might be knocked maybe halfway down, and a further shot would have to seal the deal. However, it means they can't jump onto it, so it's like difficult terrain, quote unquote, because they jump on that with their full weight, it's going to fall down.
So do you want to go in immediately with a second shot to the same location?
Yeah, I want to knock this thing down. I will waste my actions on this. Same difficulty, same song and dance.
Yes. Sorry, I muted myself to pour tea and not have a horrible pouring watery sound. So you'll have heard that, but the stream didn't.
Oh my god, okay, never mind, we're good.
Okay, yeah, that chandelier's come down, so you've got 10 successes from a 9 dice pool, which I think means you got a crit. Yep.
Yes.
A crit and a half, in fact.
This is some Matrix level shit, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, so you've taken that thing out of the ceiling cleanly, and the chandelier just falls onto whoever's underneath it. And it's only doing superficial damage, but it looks dang cool.
I mean, it's doing superficial damage and probably holding them on the ground because it is a.
It's not a light.
Heavy.
Yeah, I've only dropped one a short distance, but I have dropped one. That's another story. I'm going to mark down some superficial damage on the people, and they are. Oh, I've forgotten the word. Yeah, they're held down. If you want to go in and you know what to do.
Go in there and start staking them.
If you feel that the chandelier is going to hold them down well enough, you can try.
I probably am not. I'm probably just going to reload, and then start walking towards the ones that are trapped and just start, while they're on the floor, shoving the barrel of the gun into their head so that I assuredly do not miss.
Okay. I feel it'd be mean to make you roll for that because but the gun could fail. The
gun could fail. It is a Winchester, so
yeah, it's an old weapon, but it's been very well kept, and I'm just like weighing up in my head like. I'm
could
gonna
give me the XCOM physics of 95% chance to hit. The gun is in their face.
I'm going to say that because even if we took half, you'd still hit. So it's going to hit. Like even if the gun failed to fire properly and got damaged on the barrel somehow, you've still done a lot of damage to the end of the barrel, which is where the head is. So I'm going to take off some. I've forgotten my words for all the 10s of damage. I've remembered superficial and forgotten the other one. It's gone clean out of my brain. Thank you, yes. The double cross on the box is what I'm taking off. So, One of them is very much not moving now. I'm not going to say completely dead because something could happen, but it's going to take a lot of willpower checks and rouse checks and stuff to heal that.
If they take all their track and superficial, they're knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they're unconscious at the very least, and partially missing a head. I'm only going to let you make one shot in this round, though, so I can just bounce around back to Sonia. Sonia, you found a small back room, and inside there's been a vampire who hasn't even realised what's going on, and he's literally got one wrist up to his mouth, and he's openly feeding.
I bash him on the head immediately.
Okay, can you give me a strength melee with your modifier, which I think we set at 3 earlier. I'm not going to make you keep re-rolling your occult to make this work. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, it should be a 7 dice pool.
It becomes 11.
Oh, I've done something wrong there then. Was it only 2?
Strength is 4, melee is 4. So that's 8.
How did we end up?
And it becomes...
It was 11
dice. It becomes 11
before.
because it's adding 3.
Yeah, that's it. It is 11.
So 5 successes.
Okay. You have done... Again, you're getting a lot of advantage here because they're surprised. And they're not taking any kind of defensive moves yet. Let's taken 1 ag to that guy, which is not insignificant for 1 hit from a wooden stick. Even if there's what does it look like when you hit with the stick? Is it like a shiny...
Well, I burst into the room
Mm-hmm.
and I see what's happening, and my goal is to basically stop the feeding immediately. So my stick lights up and I say, "I'm sorry this happened to you, but I must end the curse." And I bash them in the head with a lit up stick.
And that's done them some damage, but they haven't stopped moving, and they're probably going to move and defend very soon. Do you want to, you get an action on top of the... So we haven't talked about combat a lot. It doesn't quite work like D&D. We're not moving around in initiative. You get to make a major action and then a little smaller action in each round.
Right. I will put myself in as much as I can in between the vampire and their victim.
Okay. The victim's probably a bit out of it because they've been getting fed from for a little while.
Oh, yeah. So I guess what I would do is once I hit them and they're not down, I would just sort of rush them and get in between the two as much as I can. With
the aim to get another hit in, or to move the
with the aim to get another hit in, but also to move the mortal out the way. So a bit of both.
Okay. I'm just going to take a drink from this so I stop being so croaky. The other people who have come in are having mixed success themselves. So now the vampires have started to defend themselves quite heartily. And I'm going to do a couple of dice rolls for that. They have good weapons, but they are still only just regular guys. And the vampires are fairly powerful, and some of them have got potence. I need to stop looking at the captions. Going to be another couple of die. That was terrible. Only 1 success there. So they've done some damage to one of the, let's say, 4 people you came up with. He's bleeding from... Come on. His left arm. So he's... Okay, he can still fire, but he can't defend at the same time in any meaningful way. I'm going to do a bulk roll for the other guys because I don't want to roll individually. It's going to take ages. This is why I did a couple in advance. I'm remembering now. Okay, so that's going to cover the actions of the rest of the group. They're moving out into the room, so the elevator shaft is kind of at one side. No, it's not. It's in the centre. I made a mistake there. By the bar, so like the bar's around 3 sides of the centre sort of column of the room. They're walking round in 2 different directions at once. Sonia's run off to like a side room. Lucas, you've come round and the chandelier was like the level above slightly, but you brought it down and walked over to where that came down. There is a way up onto the viewing platform if you want to go up onto there, but the people who have come down from the helicopter are working their way to you.
How high up is the viewing platform?
How high up above you, or how high up above London?
I'm trying to see if it's like my knowledge, we're in like a mezzanine party floor.
Yeah.
And my interpretation is the viewing floor is above that by like a minor.
Yeah, there's a stairwell that comes up from the sort of bar area, and up there is it's there's like windowed screens around it, but it is open to the elements. And then above that, there's a smaller steel framed sort of. It's partially unfinished, but it's where a lot of the plants and stuff will be stored. That's for people who are cleaning the outside of the building, managing the elevator shaft, that kind of thing.
What I'm saying is I want to go up there and use it as a vantage point to go onto the mezzanine and shoot people from.
Okay.
I hope.
As you climb up there, there's a sort of very bright explosion above you. And it's not. It's come from one of the helicopters. It is not one of the helicopters. It's like a firework, but it's kind of so yellow and so bright, and as it breaks apart, pieces fall everywhere, and it's burning some distance from you, and maybe 3 or 4 figures are on fire and screaming.
I leave them to die. They will die screaming. Fuck them.
More of the soldiers have landed up on top, and they're trying to make some inroads into. They're trying more to get people staked so they can take them out in torpor, rather than dead and ash. And the firework, as I'll call it for now, was just to clear the area a little bit for as they came in. So you're going to take out. You're aiming to be high and at a distance, and just take out people from your vantage point on the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the vantage point up on the stairs and start shooting down people.
Well, do you want to do that roll again, and we'll see how the firearms are working out for you now?
Yeah, I had to knock off the rust. It's been a while since,
Yeah, it's been. I mean, you haven't fired it at actual people that deserved it for a while.
What's the difficulty?
Distance. I'm gonna say 3 at this point because it's not a difficult shot for you. You're very experienced with the gun, and they are not sure where you are, so they're not sure. They're not like hiding under cover from you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did it, and I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah.
4 successes. Right, you've made an impact. Let's figure out the damage. I'm just going to check what they've got. Because you can't really dodge if you haven't seen what's coming, so I'm not going to let them do that. But now they've seen where you are, so they might be trying to hide behind something that would give some semblance of cover. Am I doing this correctly, actually? Because I know you've done a lot more of this than I have. The damage is the difference between the successes, isn't it?
Additional damage.
And you've got additional on there as well, but
additional damage. So it would be the regular damage of the gun.
Yep.
With the success margin.
Yep. I'm just double checking I'm doing it right because I'm suddenly doubting myself now I'm doing it. I've not run combat before like this.
Crits don't do double damage.
No.
But crits in themselves are like 4 extra successes. So
yeah. So I'm taking some more superficial off one of them. Because sadly, bullets only do superficial damage to vampires.
Yeah, I'm noticing that the bullets aren't working as well. I'm gonna load some incendiary rounds.
Okay. I mean, the bullets are doing damage, it's just not doing as much damage as I think you'd probably like.
They're not killing them fast enough. I need to kill them faster.
Okay, I'm gonna. Can we put your extra action as being reloading then?
Yeah, reloading with.
I'll let you keep the
incendiaries.
4 that you've got left. I think you've done 3 shots, so you've got. You should have. I think there's 7 shots in your.
Yeah, so I've shot 3. I'll have
4 left.
4. Yeah, and I'll load an additional 3 that are
incendiary. Okay, and we'll add a different kind of damage to that. Sonia, you've been in the room. You've got the one vampire you've booped in the head. Their thrall is on the way out the door, but they're not going particularly willingly. But you're clearly going to boop them if they hang around. That's how they're feeling.
Well, whatever works. Whatever helps save their life.
Are you going to continue with your Reign of Terror, stick-based terror?
So I finished whacking, and with like one swing, my swing back is going to be bashing them with the end of Raphael's light into their teeth. The goal being that if I don't kill this vampire outright, at least I can knock its fucking teeth out so it can't bite anyone.
Oh, and the teeth would be out as well because it's just been feeding. That's surprisingly devious. I'm gonna, for something that specific. Would we be calling this an out-and-out attack? So there's a thing you can do where you like just go apeshit basically, and discard your safety, discard any extra action, and just you want to do as much damage as you can in one go.
Yeah, do that. That sounds about right.
Okay, it's going to give you a bonus, an extra 1 damage. Now, you won't be able to. If they try and attack you, you won't be able to defend against it. That's the only thing.
That's fine. I'm hoping that I can kill it. So it's strength melee.
Yeah.
This time with +4.
Yes.
I better bloody kill it. 6 successes.
Okay. That's 3 more on the track. How much health did I give this person?
2.
No, sorry. You've already taken down a couple of superficial, but we're starting to move on to the ag damage now. And then when you get to the end of that, they're knocked out or dead, depending on how that's gone for them. He's going to try and make a grab at you with... What have they got? That's the wrong bit of paper. Come on. Be awake. Okay, so they've got 3 fortitude, so I'm going to add 1 to their strength. And brawl, which is... You know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make a pull up here and do it that way. Because I can't be bothered assembling this pool of that many dice. 2, 3, 4, 5 successes against your 6. Okay, he's ripping towards you, like he's trying to scratch at you with his claws. And he has. Just the kind of reflex, you've gone in like with the stick close up and he's reached for your arm. And I'm just figuring out what that's.
Would this count as supernatural damage?
Oh, it's hang on, why? Supernatural damage.
Thing.
Yeah, you do have a thing.
I have the shield perk on Raphael's light, which means that physical damage sustained from supernatural sources is halved.
Yeah, so you're halving it like they would. So actually, I'm going to say you're taking 3 superficial from that. Now, I'm going to double check this because I haven't actually. In the games I've played, I've never taken damage because we haven't done fights yet. And I want to just see how it works on your sheet. So I'm going to, rather than tell you take 3 superficial, I'm going to click it and make sure that it's doing what I think it's doing. Yeah, so superficial is okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. When that track fills up, you're going to be in danger of getting aggravated damage, and then you may get badly hurt.
Okay.
So you got 3 just now. It's possible you don't want to hang around and take too much more damage this way.
That is. Does the stuff that Lucas gave me affect this in any way?
That's on your center mass rather than your arm.
That is.
Let me read, actually. I don't want to be the actually guy.
No, that's fine. I'm open to this. Just again, it's my first time running combat in this, and if I mess it up, I'd rather mess it up and then fix it on the fly than mess it up and go afterwards. Oh, I've messed that up.
I want to halt them. In addition to the clue gain, the information yields a bonus equal to the margin on a win. So my margin, I succeeded on all of those dice.
Yeah.
So it was like 8 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Any attempt to ward or otherwise protect an area or person. This does not apply to direct attacks. Never mind.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I thought like it was supernatural stuff. Yeah, but and distant stuff. But no one's. I mean, you're doing shooting. That's ranged, I guess.
You do, however, have a 3 dice bonus to resisting any of the disciplines that they could possibly throw at us.
I tempted Michelle out of that. I didn't mean to, but I sort of did by saying that we were doing an all-out attack rather than a... So you get the extra bonus on damage, but you don't get...
She's in designate mode. She probably would have just ran at them regardless of what the plan was.
I feel like that was a very in-character moment. You also had the option of going all-out defense to the expense of doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But this was meant to be a quick attack, so what's happening is that the people upstairs are taking out a lot of the vampires have left by some means or other. I think you've seen at least one go over the edge of the building. And now I'm wondering how that's going to go, because they would probably survive the fall. Terrifying as that would be, it would take about 11 seconds and they'd be going about 250 miles an hour when they hit the ground, but they'd... Come back to that.
There is a falling damage table. I will have to go look it up.
There
but
is. I'm not going to... It's just colour right now. I'm not actually going to figure that out for one person.
Yeah. I would hazard a guess to say that they probably don't succeed at terminal velocity hitting the ground. That kind of splats people.
Yeah, it tends to. Although if they've got... there's powers that might make a difference.
They have fortitude, then they could probably survive it, but they will not be feeling very good.
No. And they'll probably be knocked out on the ground, and it's about an hour before sunrise, so... Bad times for them. I'm double checking a couple of things. Some of the vampires have talked their way into leaving, so they've just used dominate and stuff on the mortal police who have started arriving through the door from the stairs. It's already worked on them once by the vampires who left, first of all. Because that stuff works really easily on them, because they're not expecting it. They haven't got the mirrored shades that you've got. I haven't been telling you about the failed attempts they've done to try and do line of sight stuff on you, because it's not going to work.
You can't dominate me. These shades are Gucci.
Basically, yeah. They're doing their job. Although it's making your visibility slightly worse while you have them on. But I'm going to say that while you were being up on the your vantage point on the stairs, you've probably taken them off one eye or kind of lifted them, or
they're lifted, you know.
Just for the sake of your shot, and then you can put them back on when you're not shooting. Just trying to gauge how this is going. Sorry, I'm failing a little bit here while I'm moving my bits of paper and tracking my nonsense. And then
fine, it's your first combat.
Yeah, thank you. I'll hopefully get better at this, because there's more coming. Another bit on the track. So there's a couple that are down and torpored.
Mm-hmm.
And they're being kind of dragged towards the elevator door, sort of stacked up, basically. Fairly undignified, but no one's worried about that at this point.
Dead body storage.
I mean, they're not dead, that's the point, so...
Well, they are, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they're all dead before you arrived, if you're going to be like that.
Semantics.
Just filling out some more health track. Okay, who did I work with? Sonia was the last to roll, I think. So, Lucas, what's happening now?
Picking
up some more from where you are? Are you going to move, or
there's ones that are like dominating people, and I think I would know what that looks like.
I mean, you probably see the effect of it happening, because they're making eye contact and they're giving a command.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the ones doing that. I'm gonna hunt down the ones that are trying to leave.
Okay. Then give me a roll. Give me a roll again for your firearms and dexterity with your bonuses.
Yep, I'm gonna. Let me check something real quick. I think I want to make a cold shot.
Oh, okay, we're doing that.
Sorry.
It's all right. I need to learn this. It's important. Do so. Attacker declares their action before rolling the dice for the attack. After the attacker tests, they subtract successes hitting a specific location. It's not just harder, it also makes achieving a safe center of mass hit less likely. Usually the modifier is -2 successes.
Okay, so I'm going to remove 2 successes from whatever I get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to aim for the head.
Okay.
Be firearms, dex, additional 3 dice because endowment. Pray to God. What's the difficulty?
From this distance, I'm going to say 3 because they're not looking for you; they're dominating. They're not undercover.
Oh my! We're gonna willpower.
I smell willpower coming here. That was 0 successes for people watching. I did mean to put a little box over there. Am I pointing in the right direction? I can't tell. Yeah, over there, where you could see the dice rolls. The trouble is we're rolling vampire dice, and it just looks weird when, like, what are we doing with hunters with 0 hunger?
I did not succeed at hitting him in the head.
Okay, that shot's gone wild. Maybe something bumped you. Maybe there was another explosion of phosphorus outside, and you got distracted.
Yeah, I'm instead. After that shot, I'm going to head down the stairs and towards that exit to try and secure it.
Okay. So the stairs exit, yeah?
Yeah, the stairs exit. The one they're trying to mindfuck police officers to get out of.
Okay. Actually, as a give me a wits awareness difficulty 4.
Yep.
Sonia, are you back in the main room, or are you still in this little side room?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
So there was a room that was cut off from the main bar where this person was having private time with his ghoul, or whoever this is. You've given them the boop. They've tried to scratch at you. Their thrall has left the room. Have you stayed in the room, or are you going to shut the door off and get out of the way?
I'm going to end the threat that's in front of me.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a step back now that there is no one to protect and bop them again.
Is this another all-out, or are you going to keep something back for defense if you need it?
I'm going to keep something back this time. I've learned my lesson.
Okay. Can you roll your melee and strength with... Was it 3 we decided for the... I think it was 3.
It was 3 without anything, with the basic stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to see... You roll and I'll roll the other thing, and we'll just see how we...
Oh, this is 4 out of 11 successes.
If you want to spend any willpower, you can do, but I don't. Let me roll first and see if it's worth doing, because it might be dominated them anyway. 2. Now they only got 3 successes, so you're fine. You've done another. Aggravated at this point to this person, which is why they're getting quite angry. They are going to find their sheet first of all.
All the way through this, I'm apologizing to them, saying, "I'm sorry that it happened to you, but I must cure the curse.
You
I
haven't
must
seen
correct God's mistake."
You haven't seen a lot of vampires of this type. This vampire is going to use celerity and try and get out of the room. So essentially, they move supernaturally fast for the door.
Interesting. I would like to attempt to stop them.
You can't stop them because they've already passed you when you notice that they've done it.
Right.
But if you're going to pursue, we'll get to that in a moment.
I will pursue.
Okay.
In a moment.
Fine. Thank you. Lucas, do you want to try that shot again? Do you want to try and get... I mean, I'm not giving you much of a minus for being distant apart from the difficulty, but like you get... I feel like even with incendiary rounds, this should be doing better for you.
It should be. It's just the nature of things. I'm gonna do something. So I'm a gun freak. I'm going to quick pop off a round. So I'm not gonna shoot. I'm gonna do the chambering action.
Yeah.
To launch out an inert bullet. So it's a bullet that still has the bullet in it. It's not just casing. Reach for one of my incendiary rounds, load it in the chamber, close it. So that means that there's a incendiary bullet loaded in.
Yep.
And then I'm going to shoot with that.
Okay, so you're almost doing the reload before the main action.
It is a chambered reload, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to let you do that as your minor thing, and then we'll do the shot as the main thing. And I feel like for the incendiary, I should give you a plus after on top of the successes. But it needs to be if it hits. Yeah. So I think I'll give you a plus to the damage rather than to the firing.
Yeah.
That feels...
What's difficulty?
Let's say 4 again. It was 4 I said last time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be
7
coherent.
Successes.
That's more like it.
We get a crit.
Yeah, I think for that and I need a better way of organising myself with this. So you got damage 4. You're going to get a plus to that. Okay, this person's head is just like your incendiary round is hit and it's done its damage. What's that looking like?
So my incendiary rounds are kind of like the Ralphos rounds. They'll enter the target, and then they will explode and release their phosphorus. Or it's like a white phosphorus load, essentially.
And the thing with phosphorus, it doesn't affect the vampires more than it should, but it's like a very bright light. It can induce frenzy.
So the thing with phosphorus,
it sticks as well.
Once you have phosphorus on you, you're not getting that shit off.
Something I'm trying to mention it and not dwell on it too much because it's grim stuff.
That's why it's a war crime. You're not allowed to use that.
Yeah.
So they have a fire going on inside their head that's probably also cascading down due to it exploding.
Yeah, and the people nearby, I'm going to have to do frenzy checks for them, I think.
If that killed that vampire, it's probably also exploded their cranium onto them.
Yeah. Again, those trigger warnings, folks. Exploding heads, phosphorus, war crimes. Yeah, they're out. Okay, there's a
failed frenzy.
The person you shot at is obviously dead. The person nearby has failed frenzy and is making a dash for the door. They're taking out anyone who's getting in the way of them right now. You were in that area, but you've just shot someone else. They've just gone straight past you. They are not using celerity exactly. They're using like a a potent thing to just run harder. Mechanically, what they've done is they've done a rouse and done a blood. What's it called? Where you give yourself an extra couple of die and you give yourself a dot where you don't have a dot.
They buffed themselves. Right?
Yeah. They just want out. That's what the beast is making them do. Get the hell out of there. Don't care how.
This guy made this guy's head explode. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Don't need this. Don't need this in my night. It's also getting close to sunrise, so some of them are panicking a bit about whether they're going to get out of the room at all. But that's not a frenzy. That's just generalized
panic. Anxiety.
Yeah. Anxiety is not the same as frenzy. Sonia, you are going after this person who's just left the room on celerity-powered jetpack.
Yeah, I'm going to try and trip them up as much as I can.
Okay, so they've had to stop to open the door, but they've done that very quickly and moved through there. I'm going to have you do... Let me double check that this is a sensible pull. Yeah, intelligence awareness difficulty 4 to see if you can find them in the room, given that this phosphorus explosion's just happened in the middle. There's a lot of panicking folks around.
Oh, I only got 1 success.
Okay, you can't find them right now. There's so many people. There's panic everywhere. There's people like the ones who you came up with. There's people who have come down from the roofs. There's more of them around. The police are starting to arrive, and they're just wearing like the dark clothing with the bulletproof stuff and the police like logo on it. The word saying police, in case they forget, I assume. You can't see where this guy's gone, but he has gone.
In that case, I'm just going to hit the nearest vampire to me.
Okay, roll your usual as for melee strength with your 3.
Five.
Okay, yeah, you got someone another point of ag damage, but it's a person who was previously damaged by one of the soldiers. They aren't even getting time to hide behind stuff. There's not a lot in there to hide behind because it's all just, quite insubstantial chairs and stuff. There's not like a solid wall in there. And they got 2, so they've taken half of that, which is okay. So they're not. The shot has gone home, and there's like a burn mark around them, but they're not out by any means. But they're not trying to retaliate either because they're just the panic is stronger than the need to fight right now for that person.
And again, I just yell out, "I'm sorry this happened to you, but the god's mistake must be corrected."
Sorry.
Essentially, yeah. I'm very polite.
Sonia is just Canadian. Oh, fuck. Sorry there, bud. She is using a giant stick. Hockey stick. Just saying.
Oh, I'm enjoying that as an image. Also, the light of the... because you're so high up, you can see on the horizon, like it's starting to turn kind of bluey orange as the sunrise begins to come up. I'm going to double check the time I have for the sunrise that night to make sure I'm being consistent and coherent with life as we know it. Yeah, it's been a couple of hours. You got there about 4ish, 4:30ish. It's coming on, like it's starting to be visible. The sun's not actually going to be officially up till 6:30, but you can see it a good deal before it happens. So some of them are going to be panicking because of that. Another frenzy check for a couple of people. So I'm just going to roll multiple frenzy checks at once. Yeah, one of them's run off to try and get to the door. Actually, no, this one's run to the... They're trying to get the door open to the lift shaft. The lift had gone back down again. And it's not going to work, so they're going to try and go around to the door. But obviously, Lucas, you were guarding the door. Is that correct?
Yep.
So you've got someone coming towards you who's trying to get out. you going to try and stop them, or are you going to just shoot them in the head?
Are they moving preternaturally fast?
They're not, but they are. They're disturbing to look at. I don't know if that's going to give you a negative anything, but like it looks like part of their jaw's missing, and like their nose kind of isn't there, but no one ever dares to do the "how does he smell" joke.
Imagine the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shoot him in his ugly fucking face.
Are we treating that as a cold shot, or are we just gonna you're close enough that that's what you're aiming for?
Close enough. That's what I'm aiming for.
Okay, yeah. Roll your firearms and dex, please. With your bonus, which I've forgotten the number for right now. It's
3.
3, yeah, that's what I thought. Mental note, next time that happens, I'm going to write those bonuses down at the top of a bit of paper so that I can just refer to it repeatedly, knowing that that's how it goes.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be 3 because he's right there. And you're right there.
Oh my lord.
How have you... I'm not telling you to live your life, but I'd be willpowering that. Your call.
I am going to willpower 3 dice and hopefully get multiple successes per age. We get 2 additional successes, so that's 4. So that means I get 2 additional damage one additional damage on top of that.
He's already been damaged as well because he already met one of the soldiers. So he's up to 3 ag at this point. And he really wants to get out. He's kind of scraping at the thing, trying to get past you. It's not happening. You just reach up and shot him in the head. You still firing incendiary? At close range?
No, I have not fired. I loaded that incendiary just to magic bullet that person. I have 3 more normal bullets before I start going to incendiary.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. I didn't know how many you chambered. Yeah, so I'm going to stick at the ag that person had. I'm not going to set them on fire as well. Their beast is panicking, but they're not in charge right now. Okay. Sonia, you're back in the room. Can you just give me a wits awareness for a sec? Just to see if you notice the thing.
Coming right up.
I'm not. What was the difficulty I used before?
What was the difficulty?
I'm just double checking. It was 4.
4.
Was it 4? I think it was 4.
2 out of 4.
Okay, you haven't noticed either. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm sure it's inconsequential.
There's fewer and fewer people in this room who aren't soldiers. The vampires haven't succeeded on any my words are broken. They aren't murdering everyone, but they are not all getting out either. So there's a few that have been torpor that have been piled up by the elevator. They've been taken out. The elevator came back up. The doors opened. The person just slid them in, took them downstairs. A couple of them have tried to get in the stairs, but obviously there's been police coming up fairly consistently, and now we've got Lucas with his magic gun blocking the door. The people on the viewing deck have been broadly taken out either by the stuff that was fired at them or they've just been thrown over the edge. Some people have escaped by other means, as yet unnoticed. With fewer people there, do you want us to keep on with the booping, or do you want to investigate things at all, or we're going to boop until there's no more to boop?
Let me think. I'm not entirely sure because I know the sun's coming up.
You've got about an hour and a half before that happens, though.
Oh, okay.
Ripping.
Are there any?
Although actually, the thing is, my sunset times are based on ground level, and obviously higher up in the shard, you're going to get the sun before anyone else does. So I haven't actually got a time differential for the shard specifically.
It's considerably a long time. Okay. Let me think. Do I see any innocents around?
Not now.
Well, in that case, I'm going to just attempt to end the one that I bopped before.
Okay. The soldiers haven't been as careful as you have, and they have ended some of the innocents without consideration. That's one of the things that's happened there.
I will take a note of that, and I will address that once I have done my first priority.
And there's been. I don't want to give the impression that there's 0 dead soldiers here. The soldiers have taken a heck of a beating because vampires are fast and they're brutal. There's a lot of bloodied corpses around as well.
I'm going to do a bop on the one that I've been chasing.
Okay. I'm not going to make you look for them again because maybe they've got into a false sense of security. Although you are quite easy to spot in the crowd.
I meant the one that I hit last time.
Oh, right, yes. Sorry, I thought you meant the one that you've been chasing. Then roll your... I'm just zooming on the map rather than going up the...
Oh. 2 successes out of 11 dice rolls.
That's how it goes sometimes.
That is how it goes. Do
you want a willpower to get 3 of those re-rolls?
I will spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of those.
Nearly using my entire willpower track to hit like 4 shots. Help!
So
you're going to have an amazing day of research tomorrow in a very safe place.
How many... So you spend 1 willpower and I re-roll 3?
Yeah. No, up to 3. I was about to say you can't re-roll the hunger, which is true, but you don't have hunger to worry about, so ignore that. Okay, you got 1 extra.
That'll do.
Let's just quick roll for what they're doing to try and block. What opposition actually doing? You can block someone's block. That's just going too far. Okay, so it's equivalent to a grapple. So it's a strength brawl for them, which is a 2 and a 2. They are not very strengthy. They got no successes. You have booped well. Just taking...
Well booped, kind lady.
I need to stop calling it booping. It's making it sound needlessly cute for this violent smack with a golden fiery stick.
See, like, I like the idea, like, it's like this horrific gore scene with, like, doom music playing, and you're calling it a boop. I love it.
And Sonia's rushing up and like, boop! Yeah.
Just...
Yeah, I'm just playing down the violence and horror of it. That's the point, isn't it?
Meanwhile, I'm exploding heads. I like the dichotomy.
That person's up to taking ag damage now, but they're not out at all. They're trying to like reach for the stick, but they can't do anything to get to it because you've moved it out of the way again. Like you kind of gone in and lifted it back, I'd imagine. Is that kind of how it goes, or do you like swing it round like a baseball bat kind of thing?
This time is definitely going to be like a swing because I'm attempting to remove the head.
Oh, okay.
That's the blunt object. I like this.
Takes a lot to remove a vampire head, though. And you're going to do some damage.
It's not well thought out. I've got to destroy the curse.
It's possible that as a result of this, you might want to rethink your strategy a little bit for certain situations.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that. I don't really understand.
Okay. 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So torpor is like a stupor, right?
Torpor is they are unconscious and to all intents and purposes a corpse who can't do anything, but they're not dead because if you take the thing that's staking them out, they will be alive again.
All right. I should maybe start using my stakes.
Or if they heal enough damage, because you can go to torpor by getting the shit kicked out of you, but that is usually healed within... If they can get to a safe spot, it's usually healed within a night.
Yeah, that's why the more I think about it, it's particularly nightmarish for those people that fell off the building, because they're probably...
They're not going to be found. They're going to be
They've
dust tomorrow.
beaten themselves into torpor, and then the sun's going to rise, and they're just going to turn into dust on the ground in the middle of central London. And I think my maths is sound. They would be doing about 250 miles an hour when they hit the ground. So it would take about 11 seconds to fall.
And that is terminal velocity for a human body. So
yeah,
unless they have something that can lessen the blow, they're going to either be knocked out or splatted.
not a great Thursday morning.
I'm studying to be a medical professional. I know all the horrible things that can happen to the human body.
Right. Sorry, I'm losing focus a little bit, and that's not good. I'm enjoying talking about it, and actually, this is not the way to do snappy action. I'm going to say that you've hit... Sorry, Sonia, you hit... They're not able to retaliate in any sensible way at the moment. I feel like the combat's kind of reaching an end, because there's fewer people to hit. The soldiers that are still alive are doing excellent work. They haven't torped as many as they would like. I'm going to roll for how many they've got now. So yeah, they've got like 6 out of the quite a large number of vampires. They've only collected 6 that are torpid, that are going to take back downstairs to experiment on, and other things. Let's figure out this last person that Sonia's fighting. Lucas, I'm going to move to you just now while I figure that out. So what are you doing next? Are you still protecting the doorway downstairs?
I'm going to still hold the perimeter, or the perimeter. I'm going to still hold the doorway.
Yeah. Can you give me another wits awareness, please?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can attempt to and see how well that goes. Difficulty.
Yeah, because someone's using obfuscate.
I don't know if how to halt them would work with this, but it might.
It's just whether you notice them trying to get around you, I think.
Yeah, okay, so they're not trying to, like... Yeah. I mean, if they're trying to dominate me.
No.
It's weird because some people, yeah. What's difficulty on it?
It's going to be a 5, I'm afraid.
Oh, Lord have mercy, I only have 4 dice. I don't think I'll have to crit.
You might get a crit.
I don't crit.
Okay, you hear the door as it opens and closes behind you, but you don't see anyone leave, but someone has.
I'm chasing him down. He's not leaving. And if he's obfuscated, if he used a door, he's no longer obfuscated.
Well, yeah. I mean, the higher levels of obfuscate can... There's some stuff you can do. They should have used Cloak of Shadows. What's the one where you can't hear anything? Can't remember what it's called, but there's an obfuscate power where you don't hear anything.
Yeah, Silence of Death.
That's the one.
That's the thing with having somebody who knows the world of darkness. I know what happens when they make noise. I'm gonna go hunt him down the stairwell now.
Okay, the stairwell's dimly lit, but it is lit. You can hear voices at the bottom. It's quite echoey.
What kind of voices am I hearing?
Oh, you're hearing like police chatter from the bottom.
I'm gonna yell. There's a suspect coming down the stairs in pursuit.
Okay, this particular part of the stairs is only going down to the halfway point, which I think was the 30-something floor. Did I say 33? I did have a note of that for reasons. Anyway, partway down, because otherwise it's a very long stairwell that I think is unrealistically long. So, I'm going to do a quick whether that was intelligible for them. Where's my police guy? What's his? 3. Okay, they got 3 successes. They've understood your command and they're going to act on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep pursuing him down the stairs. If I have a clean shot, even for a split of a second, I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Roll for a shot, and then I'll roll to figure out whether you got a chance to fire it or not.
Difficulty is probably gonna be pretty considerable, isn't
It's
it?
probably going to be E5 for this.
Yeah, makes
Because
sense.
moving, and also it's not in cover, but there's corners and stuff. So like you're only going to shoot when they're not in cover, but there are going to be times when they are in cover.
5. We did it.
You did it. Okay, are we firing into injury on this occasion, or are we firing normal? I think it's still normal. It's chambered, isn't it?
We're chambering a fucking flaming one while we're running.
Yeah, let's see. You did it on the way down. I'm rule of cooling this. What does that look like as it hits?
It probably hit him center mass, so it's gonna explode in his chest cavity, which is primo spot where it should explode.
It's going to be pretty surprising for someone who thought they got out unseen. Although you shouted down, so...
Yeah, he knew that the jig was up. Yeah, he's gonna have his chest full of fire at this point.
That's a bad time. That's going to be several ag. I think they are out. I think they are ash. I think that's spread to the neck, so the head's gone.
Gonna shout back down. Suspect neutralized.
And the sort of a smell of very dead flesh that's burnt, and then ash and like particles in the air.
Not a good scent.
Are you returning upstairs after this, or are you going to continue
Yeah, I'm
down?
returning back.
Okay.
Returning back to the door.
As you come back, the pile of bodies is considerable, both of security guards and of vampires that are torpored. Most of them are gone. The party is done, to all intents and purposes. Sonia, I'm going to give you another free book to that one that you were smacking with the holy stick.
Excellent.
I think even if you only rolled half, you'd still be enough to finish them off. So I'm not going to make you roll for it, because I think it'd be insulting to give you the chance to fail it.
All right, so I guess I hit it,
And it's out.
It's dead.
How's that going to look? Are we talking in ash spreading out, or are you knocking the head off? Or
I'm thinking that when a vampire dies as a result of Raphael's light, they melt.
are we talking end of Raiders of the Lost Ark here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, they go with the Quajan way.
So I'd essentially I hit with such force that it sort of breaks the skin, and from that the melting starts, and the vampire looks at me all horrified. And as the melt approaches its face, I just say one more time, "I'm sorry," and then it melts and dies. And I look around the room. I see there isn't really much else going on. The light goes out of my eyes, and I slump to the ground, a bit exhausted and a little sad.
By this point, I'm going to unload my gun, reorient it into being the walking stick. I have a small bit of medicine. She took superficial, right? Or did she take...
She took some superficial, yeah.
Okay. Using my medicine knowledge of one, and my intelligence.
Yep.
I'm gonna see to her wounds.
Then please roll me a an intelligence medicine. Yeah, that's the way around it should be, but in roll 20 you have to roll it medicine intelligence.
If I recall correctly, it is at 0, and you just heal for...
Yeah, it's just a heal number of successes.
Yeah. Heal 2 superficial.
Right, so you can remove 2 of your superficial damage, Sonia.
Thank you.
And he's gonna help her up. Up we come. You're not old enough yet to fall down yet.
Do you want to give me one last wit's awareness, please?
Of course I do.
Oh, either of you
Sure.
can. Both of you can.
What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say 3 this time because it's quieter. There's less distraction.
I noticed nothing. I'm too sad.
I'm gonna use
Okay,
one last willpower.
It's not okay if you want.
When does willpower get refilled?
Comes back after every session, and you take your. That's up to 3 for me. You take either you heal an amount of either your composure or resolve, whichever is higher.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The vampires just get all theirs back whenever they let rest, but they've got other things to worry about. Okay, you've noticed there's a smaller door that you hadn't spotted before, but there's a door that seems to lead off of the bar area. It's not one of the smaller rooms that, like the one that Sonia was in with the other kindred. It looks like it leads to a small corridor. It's lit out there.
It appears there might have been an escape route. I'm gonna go to the squad of guys. We missed a door behind the bar. We're not in any shape to go there by ourselves. So if you want to have a sweep of it, go for it.
And they thank you and move off.
Wait, there's more? We should follow them.
We should. Are you sure you're able to?
Stand up and say, I've got a job to do. I need to go do it. And I start moving towards the bar.
Alrighty.
Through the door, there's a dimly lit section of corridor. It's quite well appointed. Like, it's very luxurious. It's just not very bright. On the right hand side, there's a room that's small, and again, it's quite dark in there. But it looks like a larger, like it's larger than the corridor, but it's smaller than the bar area. It looks like a smaller kind of like offshoot room where maybe they were having guests, or maybe they had like other activities going on. Further down the corridor, there's another elevator.
Huh.
Appears we missed some.
There's no sign of people in there.
Maybe this elevator goes to somewhere else. Maybe this doesn't just go to the street.
Perhaps.
Do you want to press it, find out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll press a button.
So the door opens. There isn't like a way to select floors. It's just you're here and you've got down.
This doesn't see. I don't think this is going to go to the street. I don't think this is necessarily an escape route, as you would imagine. I think this is going to go to somewhere where there's more of them on their turf. What do you think, Lucas? I mean, Millie told me never to go somewhere. Never ever go somewhere where you think that it's their. Well, never go on their turf unless you have a plan.
Do we have a plan?
My only plan I could think of is to go down there and kill them all. But that could be foolish. We need more men. We need to talk to Simon more. Find out if he has intel on what's down there. What do you think? You're more experienced than me because you're older. Like, really a lot older.
Well, discretion is the better part of valor. I don't think we should go down there just yet. I think we leave it up to the cleanup crew. We head back home, lick whatever wounds we have left.
How many did you get?
I'm going to say 3 or 4, I think. Two definitely in an explosive way. We did a lot of damage to another couple.
I confirm 2 done and dusted. 2 others not so.
I definitely got 2. There was one that I severely wounded, but they got away.
Oh, that was the one with half the jaw. Yeah, he fell.
You got him.
Yep.
I've never seen that many in one place before.
I haven't had such fun since the 80s, honestly.
Say I'm the chosen one. They say I have the power of a fallen angel, and I could only get. No, never mind. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's go talk to Simon.
He, noticing her wavering, it's not about the number. I saw you immediately run for innocent people to get them out. That is your success. Killing them, well, that is a wonderful thing to do, yes. Killing them doesn't mean shit if innocents fall to them before we can get here. You did your job.
Thank you, Lucas. That means a lot. I'll be alright. Let's go talk to Simon. I'll figure myself out later. Let's go find Simon. And I walk off looking for Simon.
So returning to the bar area, then take the elevator back down to the halfway point, then the second elevator back down to the ground floor.
That is the plan.
The sun is more evident now that the night's ending. It's going to be up soon. You've seen that the vampires that they've torpored have been taken into vans. They're being taken away. The mortals that they rescued, they've been put into... Oh, they look like ambulances, but Lucas, you might recognise the design of the Society of St. Leopold on the side.
Are they going to get them fixed? Remove whatever.
Hope.
Good.
As he says that, you notice him produce a carton of cigarettes, lights one. Would you like one?
Oh, no, thank you. They kill you.
I'm old. Something's going to kill me eventually.
You recall that Felix smokes them all the time.
I don't mean to. I say things that are true, and sometimes that upsets people. Or they think I'm saying something else. They think I'm saying something else entirely. Where I'm just saying my reason for why I don't smoke is because I don't want them to kill me.
That's your prerogative. Helps me calm down.
Oh yeah, and they do make you look cool.
That is true. I've been smoking the same pack since Nimrod, actually. Now that I think about it.
Wait, you've only been smoking like one every few years?
Usually after a hunt like of this degree.
Oh, well, I guess in that case it's almost nothing. You're probably more likely to be killed by a vampire than a cigarette.
Probably. It's funny that I said Nimrod. And somebody laughed. Somebody knows what Nimrod is.
I don't know what that is.
Interesting piece of British history. The Iranian embassy siege in the 80s.
Oh.
It was the first time that a global counterterrorism agency was front and center in media.
Okay, I've got the Wikipedia open in a tab now. I'll read that after this.
You find Simon, he's talking to a very serious-looking woman. She's got very, very dark skin. You might overhear her calling her Anna. They're talking about how the operation's gone. Simon sees you and finishes the conversation, comes over. He's holding a cup of coffee. Excellent to see you come back. How were things up there?
Pretty fucking horrible, Simon, to be honest with you. Pretty fucking horrible.
Your men were professional, did the job perfectly. Not much collateral.
Not much collateral. There was a lot of innocent people who are now dead.
Could have been worse.
It can always be worse.
We have to, with operations like this, count acceptable losses to an extent. I know that might be unpalatable to some, but this is how we get rid of them from our city.
I'm used to there being like one vampire, maybe two, and like maybe one person that needs saving, maybe a couple. So my definition of success is almost certainly a lot different from yours, but also not necessarily applicable to something like this.
Well, I am sorry I couldn't give you more advance notice, but we only had confirmation of where and when this actually was happening earlier today.
Well,
Did that woman
I'm
follow?
glad I could help. I'm glad I could save who I could. Did the people get out okay? Did you get them all?
Some of them. The people who can be saved will be saved. The Society of St. Leopold have a medical treatment and plan in place. It's the most effective thing we have at the moment.
Well, that's the best of it. I've not dealt with ghouls that much before.
Did that woman follow him?
No, she's talking to someone else now.
Mm.
So, how do we do?
Well, by all accounts, things went very well. We were aiming to strike as hard as we could and also gather potentially some more information to get some sense of who we've got, who we've missed, who's still out there. This has been our first major operation of this campaign. I can only imagine that after this they'll know that we are on to them in a big way. It's probably going to get more difficult to find them after this. The more we hunt, the harder they'll be to find, because the ones we're finding are the ones that are better at hiding.
They are going to scatter to the outlying cities.
Oh, I'm sure some of them already have, but we're going to put... security is going to be beefed up at the exit points, the National Line rail stations, the airports. We're developing a new camera that might be able to track them. You see, the trouble with them before is that they don't show up on thermal cameras. Hence some people call them blank bodies, we call them IC zeros. But if you can have one camera that is showing where they are and one camera that is showing a lack of thermal signature, you effectively have a camera that can detect where they are.
Interesting.
We're looking to install more of these where there is CCTV already in place. Soon they will not be able to move around London without us knowing about it.
So, what's next?
Next, we follow up on some of our leads. We're going to have a helicopter flying over some of the outlying suburbs, and we're going to see if we can make a judgment about the houses that we know are populated, but the houses that have no heat signatures inside.
Do you know, has someone told you about the lift near the bar?
The lift?
There's a lift. It goes down. There's only one button that goes down. It doesn't say where. We went through it because we noticed that it was an escape route.
I'll have that followed up.
Follow them.
I think we have a copy of the design of the building. It should be listed on that, unless there's been some nefarious work afoot.
Well, we might need to move on that now, because they will have gone down there, and that could be a base, it could be a hole, it could be whatever.
In all likelihood, if they've gone down there, they've since left the building by other means.
It is probably a secret escape hatch that won't show up on schematics.
We certainly saw a car leaving out the back, but that was some time ago, and there was only one passenger. We got the registration number, and we're going to track it with the NPR.
Okay, so what should we do now?
Now, honestly, looking at the state of you two, I suggest you go and rest, and we'll catch up at a more sociable hour, perhaps.
Well, that can't be it. I didn't do enough.
No one could have done more than you did. Honestly, with what you had. We'll collate the information we have, we'll add it to the information we already have, and we will come up with a plan. But I suspect how this is going to go is that we will try and seal up all the routes in a methodical way, and you can be part of the team that are hunting down the ones that are still here.
Okay. All right, let's get to work.
Some words of encouragement for my young friend. You did enough. Any more, and you will be skirting mortality, and you cannot do anything while you are dead.
Your friend makes a good point. All right, let me. I'm just gonna make. Are we gonna start chasing them down tonight, or you said we should go home? Is that what you want?
I suggest you go and rest, and we'll consider a plan when it is fully daytime.
Okay, Lucas, can I get my bike?
Yes. I will also. He's gonna pull out a card. Give it to you. This is for someone who is working for me, doesn't ask any questions. If you feel the need to call someone, call them.
Can I confirm, are you giving this to Simon or Sonia?
To Sonia, it is a trained therapist who can possibly help with the self-doubt.
You're giving me a... I'm okay. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm okay. Thank you.
It is not necessarily for now. It is whenever you feel the need.
That's really sweet of you. Thank you.
Also, pulls out when he calls for the car to come. I did have the driver go and make a run to whatever cell phone company is open at this time of night. This is paid up. It will continue to be paid up. I don't want to see you run out of minutes when we are needed for something.
Oh wow.
It is the shiniest new insert really cool phone here.
In 2012, that's probably like an iPhone 4 or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow. My God.
It's quite a night for you. You've got a new phone and a card for some therapy.
Two of Sonia's favorite things. I look at you, Lucas, and I just say, thank you. You should come round for dinner.
That might be a good idea. Should I just take you to your flat then?
Oh, thank you, but I think I want to ride. I want to clear my head.
No,
but yeah, call me on the new phone, and we can arrange. I can make you dinner. I can make really good wet stuff and rice.
I don't know what that is.
Well, that's the beauty of it, because I won't know what it is either until you come round, because it's basically whatever's about to go off in our fridge.
I remember when I was a young lad in the tube. We would have wet stuff and not rice, just whatever was left over.
It can be the best, or it can be terrible, but that's half the fun.
It's like gacha, but for food.
Exactly. It's basically, yeah. Because usually you've got tinned tomatoes in, chopped tomatoes, which you can have with anything. So it's basically pretty much everything in the vegetable drawer that hasn't turned disgusting. In that with rice, and it's delicious or terrible. We'll find out.
Sounds like a wonderful time. I'll bring Felix along.
So I think this is feeling like a reasonable place to leave it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I know we're a little bit over time, but what we're going to do is when we come back to this, it will be the next morning rather than the next day.
Okay.
And we'll pick up with them. Well, we've got your ghost hunt to possibly chase up on, and a couple more things that have come up from our investigation so far.
I do have the toy transformer in my study.
So, we'll be back at this in 2 weeks' time, which I think is the 21st of April. if I open the correct document. Next game on this channel will be Die RPG. I believe it's happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time. I can't think what that is in other countries right now. 9 p.m. in Central European, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can work out from that. I'm sure I've given you plenty to work with. two other time zones.
Google it.
Have either of you two got anything to plug?
Soon, TM.
Oh, yes. I'm going to put a link in the chat, but also if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a link underneath to join the Discord. If you're interested in potentially playing in any of our games, there might be opportunities coming up, and that's the best way to find out about them. So, thank you for watching. Thank you to our lovely players. Very much appreciate them. If you're watching on YouTube, please like or comment or subscribe or leave a comment on those things. It helps the channel. Be very appreciative. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your evening.
Bye-bye.
See ya.